This conference will now be recorded.
Yes, good morning. Whether it's audible online?
Yes, sir, it's audible.
So it is today is a PD advanced demo, right? Anyone who is new, means who has not attended the basics and attending first day. Anyone?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes. See, first I want to talk about VLSI companies, right? How it is in a demo session. See, demo session, I'll talk about three things. One is course flow and VLSI companies. Next is the second thing is means course flow means how the course works when the classes are taken. Then what projects we do. Then next is what is physical design. And third thing is PD flow. What we do in physical design. So these three things what we are going to discuss today. So in the introduction, right? As the first step of introduction, I start with what VLSI companies. So what is your job opportunities? What happens when you complete this course? So there are VLSI
There your
companies
screen.
and code is problem. Some problem with the software. There are VLSI companies. In this VLSI companies, again, there are two categories. One is product based. It's already told to you. Already told. Yes or no? So you have product based companies. So then what are the examples for product based companies? You have like Intel, Intel, there's some problem is Intel, Qualcomm, AMD, Nvidia, Google, right? So your Cadence, Synopsys, all these are right. Product-based companies, they will work on the projects. They have the projects to be done. And there are many service-based companies. So they will hire the candidates and they will send to what? Projects of product-based companies. So service-based companies, even they will hire freshers, even they will hire experienced candidates. So these service-based companies, rather than hiring experience, they'll hire what? Freshers. They'll hire the freshers means like it is like they'll hire the freshers, they'll train them and they'll send to the projects of what? Product-based companies. Product-based companies pay the salaries for what? Service-based company. Service-based company, they will keep their portion and remaining amount they will pay to you. Thereby they will make the profit. So the advantage of service-based company, where they will take advantage, they will train the freshers and they will project you as 3 years experience here, and you are the 3 years experience guys working in these companies, and they will pay the salary for 3 years experience, but you are getting a salary of little bit less. That is how the service-based companies work. But what is the advantage of working in service-based companies then? See, service-based companies, you will not only work with one company, you will work with all the companies. You will work with Intel, you will work with what? See, one project you may work with Intel, other project you may work with Qualcomm, other project you work with AMD. So you have experience of all the companies. See, the flow is not same for all the companies. Flow varies from one company to another company. So flow remains same of all the companies. If you work for 3 years or 4 years in service-based company, you are knowing flow of all the companies. Even in the recession time also you will get the job because you are knowing the flow of all the companies. But product-based companies are not like that. If you're working for Qualcomm for over 4 years, you know only Qualcomm flow. So when you work for 5 to 6 years of Qualcomm flow, why AMD guy will take you? Right? If there is a recession. But in service-based companies, not like that. You would have worked for all the companies. All the company flow you would have. But when you become experienced, it's not like immediately. When you have 5 years or 6 years of experience in service-based companies, you will be knowing all the company flow. And you are aware about all the companies flow and you are aware about all the managers of different companies. But in the product-based company, it is not like that. So recently we saw the recession and most of the employees were laid off one year back, and there is a problem, right? So, but see, there is a chance the salary in product-based company is very high compared to service-based companies. It's straightforward, right? Service-based companies pay less and product-based companies pay very high salary, and even you have good benefits in product-based companies. So even, but product-based companies will never hire freshers directly from the institutes. They will hire only experienced candidates. Minimum 3+ years experience. Minimum they will hire 3+ years experience. It is not that they will not hire freshers. They will hire freshers, but only from the top institutes like NIT, IIT. They will hire freshers, or they will give some internship for those candidates, and you can come into that. See, Google is not present in forming the chip, but Google will work for the project of some of these companies. They are developing the flow, but Google is not called a service-based company because Google will directly see. For example, Qualcomm will work with Samsung also, right? Samsung will work for the projects of what? Qualcomm, because Samsung has a foundry. So Qualcomm doesn't have a foundry. So Samsung will also work for the projects of what? Qualcomm. So Google, in same way, they will be working some of these projects. But developing the flow is very important. So these companies will develop the flow and they'll give to the service-based companies engineers. So we will use this flow and we'll complete the project. So you can also enter into a product-based company. The salary is obviously very high, and even you have good benefits also when you work in product-based company. But you should be having what? 3+ years experience with good knowledge. The interview will be a little bit difficult compared to service-based company, because service-based companies are okay. Even your freshers will take and they will train you little bit. They will train you means they will not train you like us. They will train you like what you have to answer in interviews. That is what they are going to train you. And when you go to the company, right, you will be having, for example, your 3 years experience. for every 3 years experience of 4 candidates, you will be having one lead engineer will be there. So as your 3 years experience, if you are not very good in handling the project also, okay, because you have a lead will take care about all the issues. He will tell you what to be done. But at least you should be knowing what is a flow. After creating core area and die area, what you will do. After port placement, what you will do. After macro placement, what you will do. At least you should be knowing the flow. And issues what you will get, obviously it will differ from project to project. It is not that you worked in Intel project and you get some issues, the same issues you will not get in what? Qualcomm. You may get different violations, different issues. That is project specific issues and project specific problems. But at least in theory, you should be knowing what is, see, for example, you have antenna violation, how to fix it. At least you should be knowing in theory what is the methodology. So they will tell you, they have the flow, and just by typing one word, the issues are fixed. So they will, your lead will take care about that. So when you are 3 years experience, right? When you are working as 3 years experience, your lead will help you to do the project. So doing the project is not very difficult, but so for that reason only service-based companies interviews are a little bit okay, but product-based companies have very good, means they have 3 to 4 rounds of interviews when they want to take any candidates. So you join to the service-based companies, and again you have to face the interviews from what? Product-based companies to work in their project, right? Project again goes with 2 types. When you're working in service-based company, there are 2 types of project. 2 types of employment. One is you are a temporary employee. One is you're working as ODC of the shell. You're working as ODC. So now temporary employee means you are the employee of service-based company. For only the project duration, you will go to what? Intel, Qualcomm or AMD. Only during that project. You will go to these companies only, and managers and lead will be from these companies. Managers and lead will be with this company means even they may be have some other service-based companies also. It's not from the same company. They may be from some other service-based companies also. But you will be, when you're temporary employee, you will, in this period of time, you will report to where? You will report only to product-based companies during that 6 months or 7 months or 1 year when you are assigned forward. So that is temporary employee. ODC, see this when you are a temporary, when you want to go to temporary employee of product-based companies, you have to even clear their interviews. They will take the interview. They will not take you as a temporary employee easily. Even this product-based companies will be having their interviews. You have to clear that. Even though your service-based companies employ already, again you have to clear the interview whenever you are going as temporary employee. First time you went for Qualcomm, in second time you are going, again you have to take the interview. So every time you have to take the interview. So clearing this product-based companies interviews important. Even though when you are service-based company, right? So when again one more thing is called as what? ODC. ODC means entire project of some of this product-based companies is given to the particular service-based company completely. Complete project is given to what? Service-based companies. You only take your employees and complete this complete project. In first case, you are going to product-based company and you are working. You are doing only your part. What is assigned to you? The project is handled by them only. It's handled by Qualcomm or Intel. Now, in the second case, entire project is given to you. The company, service-based company, is going to only handling the entire project of product-based companies. All the employees are from what? Service-based companies only. All 25 or 30 employees are from, for the project is from service-based companies only. So at that time, you will not be having any interviews. Only your lead will be having interviews. Off the shell. ODC means off the shell. Off the shell means totally outsource the project to some other person. Okay. So that is, so these 2 things you are going to work when you join to service-based companies. So when you are going for ODC, there is no interview for the employees. From what? Product-based companies. But only lead will be facing the interviews and you will be working the project, working with their project. But when you are a temporary employee, you have to go for, if you're temporary employee of Intype, you have to go for entire duration, you have to go to Intel. Temporary employee of Qualcomm, you have to go for entire duration of project, you have to go to what? Qualcomm. And all the rules and regulations of Qualcomm you have to follow, means holidays, everything. You have to even report to Qualcomm manager. When you're ODC, when you're in ODC project, you have to report to your manager because your company is handling, your service-based company is handling the project. So you can enter to the project in these 2 weeks. So when you're in service-based companies, when you have 3+ years experience, then even you can try for the projects of what? You can directly enter into what? Product-based companies, one way. Second thing is when you are temporary employee, when you're working for your product-based companies, right? If your performance is good, those companies only will hire you directly. Your performance is good and you can join to this company, they'll directly release the offer letter. That is also possible, but your performance should be good when you're working as what? A temporary employee. Or else, when you're working as an employee of any service-based companies, you can apply meanwhile for product-based companies, you can get into product-based companies. This is about the how industrial. See, product-based companies, fresher also can enter, but it is a rare case. So when you see few freshers will enter as a internship, and they directly get absorbed sometimes. Nowadays they are not absorbing. Absorbing means they are not hiring them. So they are coming out again, first thing. But that is one of the chance. And the second thing is they'll hire directly from NITs or IITs. So they will never go to the normal colleges what they have, these product-based companies. So you can enter through only what? Service-based companies. But even when you're working as service-based companies, you have to clear the interviews of what? These companies. So service-based companies will take freshers and experienced candidates, but these companies only will take what? Minimum. See, Intel, Qualcomm will take 3+, but Google, Samsung, AMD will take only 4+. It is their company, according to company rules, they will take the experienced candidates because they will not invest their time in training the candidates. Minimum training they will give, and it is for only 1 week, how to handle their flow. Apart from that, they not invest more in training. But service-based companies are not like that. They will invest something in training also. So this is how the VLSI companies work. So you have well-defined opportunities to enter into what? Service-based companies, and you can also apply for product-based companies. Right? If your interview is very good, they may hire you. There's a chance. Or see, there are many companies like Bitsilica, Smart SOC, Sientra, Mirfra, Digicom, Tesol Semiconductors. InSemi, Chipon, Invest Global. So there are many service-based companies. We have plenty of service-based companies, not only one or two. So getting the job is not a difficult criteria after completing this training. You can easily get the job, but at the beginning they will pay less salary. So because when you are, see, they will pay only 15 to 20,000 for 1 month or 2 months. That is what the initial salary they will pay. Because when the service-based company is hiring you, right, they will not get single rupee benefit from you. So you will, when you clear this product-based company interview, right? When you become temporary employee or when you're working as what? ODC, then only they will get a benefit from you. So when you become one of these two things, they'll start paying a salary to you, very good salary. It will be like almost 60,000, 70,000 salary they'll pay at initially. But when you're on the bench, they'll pay only at the initial stage. When you're on the bench, they'll pay only what? 15 to 20. When you clear this product-based company interview, when you're temporary employer ODC, at the first level of experience, they will pay you within 50 to 80. So second year, it will like 80 to 1 lakh. Third year, it will be like 1 lakh to 1,50,000. The salary will go like this. It is number of years into multiplied by 4. The salary will increase like that. Means you have 4 years of experience multiplied by 3.5 or 4 they will multiply 3 to 4 some number they will multiply. For example, you have 3 years of experience, they will multiply by 3, so your salary will be 90,000. If you have 4 years of experience, multiply by 3, your salary will be 1,20,000. So some companies will multiply by 4. It's like between that. It's always like that. No, there is no recession this year. Last year, there was sudden drop in some projects of product-based companies. So we saw a recession, not last year. Yes, it's last year only. So there is no recession this year. For projects, there is a lack of candidates for project. We are seeing there is no required candidates we are not getting for the projects. We are seeing lack of candidates. So there is no recession this year. We are not seeing any recession. So recession also, it will not last for more than 7 to 8 months. It will only within 7 to 8 months. Recession happens when the product-based companies tell that we are coming up with new technology and they need some time. Internally, they have to, for example, I will give you an example. It's like your Intel, to take an example. It's just my assumption. It's not the Intel is coming up with their own i5, i7, i3. They are using i processors. What is the thing they are doing from the previous version? They are making some changes. This version, you make some changes, come up with what? i7 processor. Now they don't want to continue with this i processors. They want to come up with some new chip. Then what they will do? They will take some time to migrate from here to new chip. Then they have to build from architecture level, right? Architecture level, they have to plan and they have to migrate from this level to that level. So at that time, they will close all their projects, current projects. So they'll come up with all the strategies and they'll again start the projects. So it will take some time. That time we'll see as what? Recession. Every company will do that. So last year recession happened for what reason? See, companies estimated that there was a lockdown. And this lockdown was made to dependent on chips more, right? We were dependent on chips more. For example, you take automobiles. More automobiles were purchased during what time? Lockdown time. If you take one automobile, it means one car requires at least 15 chips. Inside car, at least we require 15 chips. One is for engine control, one is for glass control, something, right? We require 15 chips we want in one car. So there was sudden increasing in the car sale during what time? Lockdown time. Not even in India, even in the Europe countries. There was sudden increase was seen in Europe countries. Similarly, like this, they were more dependent on electronic gadgets during the lockdown time. We were more dependent on. So they estimated the market will continue like this for more time. So they hired many candidates for that. But suddenly it was not the condition. Suddenly our market or our lifestyle became normal, and depending on chips or depending on the electronic gadgets has suddenly dropped down. So there was sudden shortfall happened. For that reason, we have seen a huge recession. So many candidates who were already hired were on the bench, new candidates. So suddenly we saw a huge recession. That was a mistake. Even Google CEO Sundar Pichai also told the same thing. The same mistake we have done. So we estimated that the online dependency is more after the lockdown. We estimated that. And we hired many, but that was not the case. All the lifestyle has been what presumed to be normal immediately after a few days. So for that reason, we are doing the layoff. That was the situation what we have seen. For that reason only we saw a huge layoff. And you know that, right? Qualcomm works on many mobile phone chips, and Intel and AMD, they are fighting each other for their processors for laptops, PCs, and some other things, even IoTs, and even for servers. They are fighting each other. So like that, they have Samsung, they are working for the projects of all the things, they have own foundries. They will take and they, so Qualcomm, as long as your mobile phone market continues, Qualcomm will continue to fabricate the chips. So Intel and AMD, they are fighting for this PC market. They're coming out with their new technologies. So as long as it is there, it will continue. So recession will be not lasting for last only for 5 to 6 months, not more than. So if you are entering into service-based companies and if you have a year gap, anyone is having year gap, then you are more likely to get the job easier than the fresher. Because this product-based companies requires what? Experienced candidates. They will hire the candidates who are having year gap. They'll put the experience and they'll send to what? Product-based companies. See, whatever I'm talking, this should be internally to you. You should not talk this in the outside thing. If you talk, I am not going to lose anything. Then if the product-based companies come to know this, then service-based companies get affected and you all get affected. It's going to affect you only. It's not to me. So you keep it as a secret. Don't tell that like this is going to happen. Don't tell to product-based companies. So the person who is having year gap is more likely to get a job easily more than the freshers because fresher is passed out in 2024 and where to show the gap, how to put the experience on it. So they have, so for that reason what they do is they will just ask you to be on the bench for some time till they get it. So this is about your VLSI companies. If you have any doubts, you can ask me where you can get the job. Service-based companies will easily hire you. I give the examples, right? Nilfra, Bitsilica, Smart SOC, Digicom, Dassault Semiconductors, Quest Global, Sientra, such InSemi, Chip on Time. There are many companies like that. I'm not doing. There are service-based companies. For example, first service-based company. So I'll give an example. I don't know, right? I don't know. I cannot name the companies. I'll give an example. There is a company called as Bitsilica. You assume. Just the example. There are these are the first service-based companies. See, this product-based companies will hire the candidates from service-based companies. These service-based companies should be having good infrastructure. Infrastructure means they should be having very built office and that office should be having highly secured. Security is very important. Security means not only a man, right? It's not a human security. I'm talking about the internet security, everything. There should be a secured protocol, internet protocol or server handling protocol. Everything should be well built inside, and even there should be some good measures followed by the companies. Right? Good measures means the employee should be given some good package. Employees should be given some good benefits like health benefit, health insurance, and parents should be insured. So all the protocols should be followed. Only those companies are called as what? Service-based companies. From that companies only these product-based companies will take. So they like that you have Bitsilica, Smart SOC, Sientra, Birfra, right? All these companies will come under the first layers of first service-based companies. They have good infrastructure, I can tell. Well developed infrastructure and they have very good office also. And apart from that, there are second service-based companies. They doesn't have very good infrastructure, but they can hire the candidates and they can train very good. And this will send to what? So this product-based companies will never hire from these second service-based companies directly. They will hire only from what? First service-based companies. When the market is very demanded, market is having high demand, then these first service based companies cannot give all the candidates. So they will send, so you are the employee of second service based company, you will enter to product based company through what? Through first service based company. But you are employee of what? Second service based company. That is what the hierarchy is. The only difference here is the infrastructure, right? Some companies we have started, they don't have even proper buildings also. Then they will, but they will pay you very good, because they will not look for, they are not, see this, if you talk about this first service based companies, right, they have to pay for building, they have to pay for everything. So getting the building in good IT park is not so easy. If you are having the office in IT park, like some eco space or somewhere, if you are having, then it is not so easy. You have to pay very good for rent. If I have, so I am doing this company in my home only, means I need not to pay the rent. So I will pay that to my employees. Even they will pay very good. See, it's not that they are not going to pay very good. This is about the, again, there will be third service based companies, and you will send this to what? This company, and from here it will go to what? First service based companies, and that will go to the what? Third based companies. So these companies, see, placements is, all service based companies will ask VLSIGuru for placements. It depends upon the market. If market is very good, if they cannot get the candidates, and they approach us to the institutes also. So for that list, you can ask with admin. I cannot tell what is the list. I cannot remember that. So whatever I told, all these are connected with VLSIGuru only. See, sometimes they may come, sometimes may not come. So I'm not sure. So because it depends upon the market. So second thing is here, course plan, how the course going to work. So I'm telling you at the beginning only, because after that I'm going to talk only about asset design flow, which you are already aware. The course plan, how the course works. So you have theory classes. It is on Saturday and Sunday. So this is only for Saturday and Sunday. Theory, right? So Saturday 3 hours, Sunday 3 hours. So every week you have 6 hours of what? Theory. It happens only on Saturday and Sunday. Then you have lab. So lab happens on weekdays. It is for the candidates who can attend on weekdays. It happens on weekdays. This also happens on weekends. Both labs are not same. Weekdays labs are different and weekends labs are the same. Syllabus is covered, but don't attend both the labs. If you can attend weekdays, attend only on what? Weekdays. It is from Monday to Thursday. Weekend, it is only on Saturday and Sunday after the theory classes. If theory classes happens on morning, then weekend lab will be on what? In afternoon. But weekdays labs happens only on what? Monday to Thursday. It is for 3 hours. Every session is for 3 hours. Right? Don't attend both the labs. You can attend either on weekdays, or you can attend on only on what? Weekends. So lab. So already tool has been installed. So tool is given to you. So we use ICC2. See, there is two vendors, right? When we use tool, the vendors are, or the competitors are, Cadence and Synopsys. So companies will use tools either from Cadence, they will use either from what? Synopsys. Only these two tools they will use. So we are not using Cadence. We are using what? Synopsys tools. So getting license is very difficult. So we have to pay very huge to get the license. So license cost is in more than 30 lakhs. You have to pay to get the license for physical design, especially. Content, it is okay. You can even do it in offline resource, like you have many resources to do. Even model checking is free, of course. That is you can do. But for physical design, you have to get the tool. The tool is very costly. The tool is more than 30 lakhs for 30 license. The cost is even it is more than that. So we use Synopsys tool, that is ICC2, prime time, IC validator, and these tools are given to you 24/7. You can utilize 24/7. So it is given to your laptop only. So you should install few. See, you are working on our server. When you use these tools, you are using the tools on what? Our server. Our server you can access through your laptop. Means my laptop you can access through your laptop. That is called as a VPN, virtual private network. So only what you should have is you should be having good internet facility. That is required. So if you have good internet facility from your laptop, you can access even my laptop. That method is called as what? VPN. So your network and my network first we will connect, and after connecting our both network, then you will access my laptop if I give the permission. So that method we are going to use VPN. So in the same way, by you using your laptop, you will use our servers, VLSIGuru servers. So you can utilize our tools 24/7. And next, you already know you have recorded videos given, live recorded videos. It is not old recorded videos. It is what? Live recorded videos. If, for example, if you are not able to get if you're not able to attend the classes today, so after 4 hours, if I complete the class at 12 o'clock, after 4 hours you will get the recorded video. Yes, everything will be a live batch. Weekend lab will be a live batch. Weekdays lab will be a live batch. I'm talking only about live batches. Even this recorded videos are also the live videos. If I do the demo class today, after 4 hours you will get the video of this demo class. If I do class tomorrow, after 4 hours you will get the videos of tomorrow's class. So like that you will get the videos. So you will get live recorded videos. It is not the pre-recorded videos, as you already got in your basic classes. You got, right? Basic classes videos you got. Similarly, you will also get the live recorded videos for advanced sessions also. Means you will get after 4 hours. It's not immediately. Right? Within 4 hours, you will get live recorded videos. So even if you are missing the classes, you can refer to this live recorded videos. So lab happens on weekdays as well as on weekends. So weekend lab is only for the candidates who cannot attend on what? Weekdays. So if you will be working, if you cannot attend the lab on weekdays, you can attend on what? Weekends. After the theory classes. What is their doubt? How about the lab sessions? Will that be recorded as well? Yes. Yes, all the sessions. Lab and theory, all the sessions will be recorded and it will be given to you. See, I cannot tell what is the course time, means at what time the lab starts or theory session starts. Generally, theory will be in the morning and lab will be in the afternoon session. Same as, so weekdays lab, I'm not sure. Admin will inform you at what time you have lab. So every session will be for 3 hours. It will be within 2.5 hours to 3 hours, depend upon the completion of the topic. It will be 2.5 hours to 3 hours. Today 9:30 to 12:30. Again, to afternoon session you will be having lab from 2 to 5 for weekend. If you are weekday students, you need not to attend this lab. You can attend only on what? Weekdays. So weekdays, weekend lab is only for the candidates who are not able to attend on weekdays. So it is a live session. Live session means, and you can attend the session both online and offline. How we are attending now. So you can attend online as well as what? Offline at same time. So now I am using GoToMeeting as well as I am on the offline class. So same way, every session is like that. No, tool installation will be, see, we will guide the tool installation. Our trainers will guide you how to install the tool. Tool installation is not yet done. Yes, correct? Yes, it is not done. They will do it from Monday. They'll do a tool. See, lab will not start this week. Lab will start only from the next to next week. Means they'll do tool installation. But next to next week, the lab will start. Because before doing the lab, I have to continue with some part of theory. Start with theory. Then only we can start the lab. So, what is the duration of the course? So, duration of the course is 3 months. Duration is 3 months. Yes, both will complete at same time. Weekend labs and weekdays labs both will complete at same time. Means they both will take 3 hours, 3 months. You can mute it if you're not communicating to me. Then you can mute it. See how it works. Yes. So now how it works is, see, weekend generally, weekdays we will be having more students. So fixing the issues will take more time. Weekends we will be having hardly 3 to 4 students. Fixing the issues will not take more time. So 4 days will be equivalent to what? 2 days per day. That is how we can manage everything. So weekdays we will be having 30 students. So fixing the issues or giving time for each student will take more time. Like I can complete only small amount of syllabus for 1 day. But in the weekends I can cover more syllabus because there will be hardly 3 to 4 or within 5 students. And that is what we can cover very fast. Not very fast, I can tell that we can cover more syllabus within the assigned time. So for that reason, we can cover 4 days of week, we can cover in 2 days. So that we can do it. So the course duration will be 3 months. Advanced course duration will be for 3 months. Any doubts you have? See, it may extend till 3 to 3.5 months. It is, see, we will complete in 3 months because of some holidays in between. Like if we have this type of sessions, right? Like if we have Deepavali or Dasra, if we get the continuous holidays, then it is like, so if we get at least 1 day holiday in between, also we will lose the time. So if that is the case, it will complete 3 to 3.5 months. 1 week may get extended. That's it. Is any other doubts you have? So So what you have to be knowing that to do this course? See, you should be knowing, means I can tell prerequisite what you should be knowing. So you should be knowing your GVim, how to use Vim editor, like some basics of GVim. What is insert mode? What is command mode? So how to go to insert mode, how to go to command mode, how to save a file, how to quit a file. So that is sufficient, I think. At least that you should be knowing. So second thing is you should be knowing your Unix. At least minimum things you should be knowing. How to create a directory, how to move to the directory from one location to another location, what is a command for copying, what is a command for deleting the folders or deleting the files, right? And what do you mean by grep command? You know what is grep? Awk command. Awk is not important, at least you should be knowing what is grep or find command. And you should be knowing about TCL, tool command language. What is set command, what is puts command, what is for each loop, like that, right? What is for each loop, how to access the file, how to do file operation. If you have a file and if you have lines in a file, how to read each line from a file, how to do operation on those lines. So you should be knowing file handling, you should be knowing in TCL. And you should be knowing CMOS. So in CMOS basics, if I tell CMOS inverter or NAND gate or NOR gate, you should be able to identify what is its structure. At least NAND gate means what? You will be having PMOS in parallel and NMOS is in series, and you should be able to visualize its layout, how it is. I'm not asking to draw the layout, at least you should be knowing that PMOS means you will be having what? P diffusion, in between you will be having what? Polysilicon, you will be having N well, you will be having P substrate. So you should be knowing what? CMOS. And after that, you should be knowing your PD flow. It is done in PD basics, right? If you're not knowing, also no issues. Anyhow, we are doing the same thing now. PD flow. This is not required. At least this much you should be knowing. So digital is not very important for physical design, but digital is important when you are entering to interviews. When you go, see, digital is very important for front end. But when you go to an interview, then physical, they may ask some questions of digital also. But for us, see, physical design point of view, digital is not very important. If I tell mux, at least you know what is how the mux is, right? You have a mux, you have inputs, and you have what? Select line. If you know this much, that is sufficient for us. If I tell a flip flop, you know what is difference between flip flop and latch? You know or not? What is flip flop? What is latch? Flip flop is a X triggered. Latch is a level triggered.
Yeah.
This small basics you should be knowing. Yes. So this is a prerequisite. What is required? But if you are not knowing, also say at least you should be knowing basic commands. But anyhow, we will do slowly in the lab session. Our mentors will do very slowly, like copy. If you want to copy the file from one location to another location, they will use the command cp. Type the source address, type the destination address, and they will teach you everything. If you don't worry about that. Both are same. Linux and Unix both are same. So now the next thing is, I told you at the beginning only, course flow, and I'm going to talk about what VLSI companies. So as one of the student asked what is a prerequisite, I have told what is a prerequisite, right? So next is what we do in physical design. So I'm not talking about physical design flow. I'll talk about what we cover in physical design, what topics we cover. That only are written as what? Physical design. So why, what do we do in physical design? Can you tell me? Yes. See, to understand this, right, first we should come from the level of foundry. You have foundry, I think, which I have already done during my first basics. I have only done the basics, right? At the beginning, not basics. At the beginning, demo. Who has done demo for you? Basics demo. During before basics, I have done a demo. Okay, leave about that. Don't worry. Foundry, right? What is which place we call it as foundry? So what is foundry? Yes, good, right? Foundry is a place where chip is fabricated. I cannot use this portion. So where chip is fabricated. So foundry is not a place like companies, right? It should be very clean and neat, well sophisticated with machineries. Foundry will work in nanoscale. Nano means 10 to the power of -9. In scale, the lowest unit is what? Millimeter. 10 to the power of -3. So millimeter means, you know this, right? You have millimeter. This is called as millimeter. This is small distance. If this millimeter, if you divide by again 1 lakh times, then that will become what? Nanometer. So that much smaller object, your foundry will work. Even a small piece, this dot, you can see, this dot will cover thousands of transistors. The small dust of this size will cover thousands of transistors. So even this much dust should not fall in the foundry. It should be very neat and clean. Even water should be very purified and distilled. So foundry, opening a foundry is not so easy. So you require a huge investment. So India, currently we don't have well sophisticated foundries. But outside India, there are many companies, they have what? Well sophisticated foundries. So one of the major foundries is TSMC. So they will fabricate chips large in numbers. Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing Corporation. So most of the companies depends on TSMC to get their IC fabricated, right? But when you get your IC fabricated from the foundries, what you give to foundries? So one of the thing I'll confirm that no electronics engineers are going to work in what? Foundries. We are not involved in fabrication. Chemical engineers are involved in what? Fabrication. See, I want to do the etching. I want to do, I have to remove this oxide layer. Here I have to remove the oxide layer. This region I have to remove oxide. Oxide removal doesn't happen by using some grinding machine. It happens by treating this oxide layer with what? Acid. Treat with this with acid. So this region I will cover through mask photoresist, and this region is not covered through photoresist. This region is exposed to acid, and this is removed away. So removing the some portion of the material, how we remove in the fabrication unit means it is through acid. So whoever working in foundry, majority are from chemical engineers, not from electronics background, right? So then where the electronics engineers will work? Electronics engineers will not work in foundry, they work in, or fabrication, they work in what? Design. They work in designing an IC. So here what we are talking is about the fabricating IC. So we work in designing an IC. So we engineers work in designing an IC. What we give to foundry? So that foundry is fabricating according to our design. What we have to give?
GDS2 file.
So we will give a file called as good. So we will give a file called as what? GDS file. Graphical data stream file. Then what this GDS consists of? So you told you will give the GDS, right? Then what this GDS consists of?
Planar information and cell information.
Yes.
How they have-
GDS has a layout of cells, right? You have AND gate, layout, you have inverter layout. How they are connected? They are connected through what? Metal layer. So what is this? This is a layout of what? AND gate is a layout of inverter. And everyone, I'm sure that everyone know what is layout now. Yes or no? Because you already undergone the CMOS training. So this GDS has a layout of cells, layout and connection of cells. Connection of cells. Cells means gates, right? Here another term what we use for cells is called as what? Gates. So only your foundry can understand only the layout. They cannot identify any other, they cannot understand any other things. So you should be giving the layout of the design. So now what is role of physical design engineers here? So to understand that we should come from what? ASIC design flow. So everyone know ASIC design flow, right? Yes or no? So I will do this ASIC design flow. I will not do it in depth. Just I will mention what each step is doing. Right? So first step is what? System. See, ASIC design flow is very important concept as interview point of view. Say interview happens in 3 methods. One is they will test your communication. How you are good in communication. See, to test your communication, they may ask you the questions like explain about yourself, or they may ask you the questions like which is having good elaboration. See, if they ask how do you fix setup, what you will do? Upsize the driver or VD stop the driver. With this, I cannot test the communication, right? So they may ask some of the elaboration question. So in that, they may ask the questions like what? ASIC design flow. Communication not only tells how you are good in communication, it also tells about your attitude, right? How you are communicating. See, you cannot communicate like this, right? ASIC design flow, it happens like starting with specification, turning your head somewhere. I have seen this in interviews. So you should make eye contact to your interviewer when you're talking, right? And if you're confident, how confident you are. When you're sitting and talking, you cannot talk like ASIC design flow. Specifications. I think it is first a specification. You cannot do like this. You should be confident in what you're answering. Even tell with confidence if you're not aware. I'm not sure about this. No issues in that. So your confidence, you cannot tell I'm not sure about for ASIC design flow question. Regarding first step of basics. If they ask very complicated thing and if you're not sure, you can tell that you're not sure about this answer. Right? So first step here is to test the communication. This question becomes very important. Explain ASIC design flow or explain the PD flow. So second thing, they will test your understanding. So how good you have understood the flow. So then they will understand some analysis questions. Analysis means if you have some issues, which method you adopt to fix it. They will test like that. So if your latency is very high, how do you fix it? If your setup is very high, then how do you fix it? Okay, you take this scenario. So you are not able to fix in the routing stage. You are in the routing stage. you cannot move your cells, then how do you fix your setup? So they'll give some scenarios and they'll ask you how do you are going to approach it. If you fail here, it's okay, because it is just analysis. It is just what is your point, but you should not fail in these two things. This will cover your 70% of your interview. This will be only 30% of questions. So you should dominate in these questions. Then only your interview will clear. What in what communication and understanding. So the questions will be like explain ASIC design flow, explain PDF flow, explain input files for physical design, explain macro placement guidelines. So in these questions you have to dominate. And in analysis questions, anyhow you cannot dominate, because interviewer will be having something in his mind and he will expect that he sometimes you cannot meet it or you may not meet it. It's expectation. If you fail also, no issues. Even your interview gets cleared. But here you should not fail. So in that, one of the important question is what? ASIC design flow. So first step goes with what? Specification. So specification, generally what happens in specification? The top team is involved, like not the all engineers are not involved here. Top team means the company top team is involved, especially marketing team and other teams. They will get the specification for ICs, like what IC you are about to design. What are the functional blocks that I see? Functional blocks means your IC should be having ALU, arithmetic and logic unit. What type of processor you should for ALU? What type of processor you're using? You're using ARM processor or some other architecture, and you should be how much memory blocks you should be having. Whether you should be having PLL, whether you should be having any protocols. What protocol you have to use? Communicating protocols. Whether you should be having Ethernet module or GPRS module. So all these things are decided by using what? Top team. What are the functional blocks? What should be the estimated area? What should be the estimated power? So how many, what is the duration of design? So like all these things. What is how many clocks? Area, power and speed is very important. Speed means clock. Clock. What is a clock? What is the clock frequency which your chip will work? See, entire chip will not work with only one clock frequency. Each block will work with what? Separate frequency. So this block may take some clock, this block may take some other clock. Both may work with different frequencies. So for that reason, I mentioned it is what? Clock frequency. Performance is nothing but your clock frequency. Performance only is nothing but what? Your clock frequency. So next step goes with what? When you go with specification, what you will do? RTL design.
Sir, architecture.
The specification only is architecture, right? What are the functional blocks? Deciding functional blocks is only the architecture. This is only the architecture. Architecture team only can decide all these things. Chip architecture. See, specification and doing the chip architecture only will take 1 or 2 months. The design will not directly come to what? RTL. If one chip design starts, it will take 2.5 years to complete. Not complete in 1 day or 2 days. I'm telling a new chip. You see, chip means there is two cases. One is fresh chip fabrication. One is just extension to what? Previous chip. I already fabricated the previous chip. I want to do some extension. For example, I told I already have i7 processor. I want to come up with what? i9. So i9 is nothing but what? Extension of what? i7. So most of the blocks remain same. Only we may add 1 or 2 blocks instead of some other blocks. So extension of chip is easy, but fresh chip is difficult. So fresh chip may take 2 to 3 years to complete chip. Yes, extension of chip will take less time. So RTL design. So RTL design, they use Verilog or VHDL, right? Verilog, or they may also use what? VHDL to for design entry, right? To start the design. See why they use RTL? Why they are using RTL? Why they should use Verilog or VHDL? See, for example, they told me, okay, you come up with Ethernet module. So I can start implementing Ethernet module directly by using gates, right? Current is gates. Why I should write the program first? Circuit only is not there, right? Verilog or VHDL is not a circuit. It's a programming language. Using sequential and combinational is what I'm talking. Directly I can go with gates, connection of gates. Why I have to write the program like this? That is in the Verilog form, right? So what is the benefit of checking that? See, the reason for that is why we do RTL design is anything describing in the form of behavior is easy. Directly going into the gate level is very difficult. Right? See, how many can you remember the D flip flop? What are the gates present inside D flip flop? You have D flip flop, right? D flip flop Q, and you have what? Q bar. If I ask you to draw the D flip flop diagram, how many can you write? You already gone digital basics by using gates. How many can you write that? D flip flop including your NAND gate. Right? Okay, I'll ask right by using NAND gate. How many can you write this diagram? No one? D flip flop implement by using gates. You can write the diagram. Everyone can write it. But if I ask explain the D flip flop operation, how many can you write? Tell me, including reset. How many can you explain the operation of D flip flop? If you have a reset 1, what happens to your output Q? 0. If reset is 0, then what your Q will do? Q will take whatever present on D, it will go to what? D flip flop. Whatever present on D, it will go to what? Q. When your reset is what? 0 for every positive edge of clock. This happens only at what stage? Positive edge of clock. At positive edge, what is present on D, it will pass to what? Q. That happens only when reset is 0. This is the behavior of what? D flip flop. So you can remember the D flip flop behavior easily rather than what? Internal structure. Then this behavior I can easily write in the programming level, right? If reset equals 1, what is your Q? Q is what? 1 tick binary 0. Else means what? If your reset is not 1, then Q is equal to what? Q is going to take what? D. Then written in the programming language. So programming language allows us to describe any circuits based on what? Behavior. How the circuit is behaving. We can easily describe the behavior. Okay, I will give you one more option, right? You have ATM machine. I think I've already given this example. You have ATM machine. I want IC for implementing ATM machine operation. Either you can write out circuits directly. So first start with its behavior. So how many states? It is in ideal state first. Ideal state means no card is inserted. If card is inserted, means it is like logic 1. If card is inserted, this part of board is not working. Okay. If card is inserted, 1 means what? Card is inserted. So you will go to next state. If card is not inserted, you will be in what state? Ideal state. 0 means card is not inserted. 1 means card is inserted. You will go to which state? Next state. So this is right pin entering state. If pin is entered properly, then it is what? 1. Then you will go to which state? If pin is entered properly, you will go to amount entering state. If pin is not entered properly, you will go back to what state? You will go back to ideal state. Again, you are in amount entering state. If amount is entered properly, like 5,000, and you have the balance, then you will go to which state? Amount dispatch means give the amount, right? Amount dispatching state. So this happens if you are entering the proper amount and if you have sufficient balance. I have balance of 5,000. If I enter 10,000, then it is a a violation, right? So then if you see any violation in the amount entering, then you will go back to which state? Ideal state, back to ideal state. If it is proper, then you will go back to which state? Amount dispatching state. If amount dispatching is done, if it is done, then you will go back to ideal state. If it is not done, then you will be in the same state till the amount is dispatched. So this is the behavior of your ATM machine. You convert it into what? FSM. FSM means what? Finite state model. And for each state, you start writing the RTL code. So for this state, what is the input? This input, I will take one variable. This input is like this input. I will take this input as card inserted. Card in. If card in is 0, you be in what state? Ideal state. If card in is 1, go to what state? Pin state. Then in pin state, you take one variable like pin enter, one variable name. If pin enter is 1, if this variable is 1, you enter into what state? Amount enter state. If this variable is 0, you go back to what? Ideal state. So you can write the RTL code like this. For each state, you can write the RTL code. So you are describing the behavior of what? Each state. First entire total behavior you converted to what? FSM. This is the behavior of your ATM machine. And now you start writing the RTL code for each state. In what state it will do? In what state, what operation it will do? So RTL is why we go for RTL means RTL captures behavior of circuit. Right? This is behavior only, right? It is behavior of what? D flip-flop. It is not the internal description of the D flip-flop. This if statement is not telling what is present inside D flip-flop. It is just telling how this D flip-flop is behaving. So RTL helps us in capturing behavior of circuit. So for that reason, we go with what? Describing the design in what form? Behavioral form. Like it is in Verilog or VHDL. So again, Verilog or VHDL, we have 3 methods. One is what? Data flow, behavioral and structural. So most of the cases we use behavioral only because we can describe any circuit in its behavior easily. So the role of design engineer completes. Just remember the truth table, write the program for that. Or if the circuit is very big, first convert into what? Different states, and for each state, start writing a truth table. What is based on the behavior of each state, start write what? Write the truth table and based on the truth table, start writing what? Ideal code for each state. So that is what your RTL engineer will do. So for that reason, we use Verilog or VHDL, because Verilog or VHDL helps us to capture the behavior very easily. So this is one of the role where you can get the job. Design RTL engineers are separate. Their role is to understand the bigger design, how it works, and write this type of top level structure, and write the RTL code for each state following some rules. Rules means syntax. Then after RTL design, what you have? Functional verification or design verification. This is very important role in this in our ASIC design flow. This functional verification or design verification. Or design verification. Now what this team will do? Yes, whatever RTL you have written, right? Whether it is functioning properly or not. So you have written the program for D flip-flop. How do you verify the D flip-flop is working properly or not? So for this program, you apply different inputs, right? So apply different inputs. Apply your reset, apply your D input, and check what is Q. So 1, 0. What is the output? What's the output you should get now? So your Q should be what? 0. Because reset is 1, your Q should be what? 0. Now 0, 0. What you should get? When reset is 0, your Q should take what? D at positive edge of clock. So 0, 0, 1. What should be your output? 1. Because when reset is 0, your Q is going to take what? D at positive edge of clock. Your Q should be what? 1. So apply different inputs and check what is the output. Right? And this output should be matching to your intended output. What output you should get? Expected output. If that is matching, then it is done. So what is the role of functional verification? Verify functionality of design. Verify functionality of design. See here, design means what? Design means your RTL only, right? Because RTL design is coded in what form? RTL form. RTL means Verilog or VHDL. So design means RTL only. So verify functionality of what? RTL by applying different test cases. So now there is a totally different in answering on non-technical answers and technical answers. So technical answers, if you want to clear your interview, using these keywords are very important, right? Like verifying functionality of design by applying what? Different test cases. So test cases is a keyword. This is a technical keyword. So I have seen during the interviews, most of the students will not follow this procedure. They will not use the technical terms. So there are a few technical terms which you have to use it. Right? So what do you mean by test cases? See, I cannot tell that by applying different inputs. Input is another word, right? What do you mean by input? See, this reset applying 1 and applying D0 is one test case. This is second test case. This is what? Third test case. Another name for test case is what? Inputs. But instead of inputs, you should use a technical term called as what? Test cases. By applying different test cases. Because this is very small design. Right? You have only 2 inputs, you will apply 2 bits. But when you have 32-bit input, then you have to apply 32-bit inputs to the circuit. So for that reason, we call it as what? Test cases. See, you have mux here, right? You have mux. You assume you have mux. 2 input mux. I0, I1, select line, Y. So your I0, I1, select line. If here and Y, you apply the test case now. 0, 0, 0. What is the output? If select line is 0, your output should take what? I0. Output is 0. Next you will apply what? 0, 0, 1. If select line is 1, your Y should take what? I1. I1 is having what? 0. That will go to output. So like that, how many combinations you will get? 0, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 0, 1, 1. So how many combinations you will get? You will get 8 combinations of input here. Right? Which I can tell that I have 8 test cases to be applied. Correct? Yes or no? So here I have 8 test cases. This one thing is called as one test case. But when you have, so you have 3 inputs, you had 2 raised to the power of 3 test cases. That is your 8. If you have 32 inputs, then how many test cases you will be having? 2 raised to the power of 32. It's more than 1000. So you cannot apply 1000 test cases. Then your design engineer has to plan what test cases I have to apply so that I am testing my design efficiently. Out of 30, out of 1000, what test cases I have to apply? I have to decide it. Right? So that is the role of what? Functional verification engineer. So applying the different test cases efficiently, you have to apply so that you are testing each and every part of your design. So if you apply reset as 1, you will only test this, correct? If you apply reset 0, then only you will test what? This part of code. This is called as code coverage. In my test cases, I have only this input. I have only this input. 0, 0, 0. Only I'm applying one more input. 0, 1, 0. Then if my reset is 0, which part of code will work? This will work. In second test case also, what is my reset? 0. Only this part of code will work. This part of code never executes. Then my functional coverage, then my code coverage is not 100%. Means I have not executed all part of my code. I have not tested. Only this part I have tested. Even to test this, what I should do? I should include 1, 0, 0. And I should also include what? 1, 1, 1. Okay, sorry. I written wrong, right? Sorry. First I apply 1, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0. So now reset is only 1. If reset is 1, only upper part is going to work. I made a mistake last time. So this part of code is never working. So if this part of the code has to work, means what I should do? I should even apply some test cases with what? Reset 0. So now only my code coverage becomes what? 100%. So for doing code coverage 100%, I can apply only 2 test cases. One test case with reset what as what? 1. One test case with reset was what? 0. So my code coverage becomes 100%. So this is called as code coverage. Similarly, they have functional coverage. So they should apply test cases in such a way that code coverage and functional coverage should be what? 100%. They have to meet that. So they have to decide what test cases we have to apply. This is smaller design. Bigger design is very difficult to understand. First, you have to understand internal architecture, and they have to decide what test cases we have to apply. Right? So that is the challenging part for functional verification engineers or design verification engineers. So when you have to become functional verification, see, when you have to become RTL engineer, you should be knowing what? You should be knowing Verilog or VHDL. You should be very good in TFT. You should be knowing some protocols, AXI protocol, I2C protocol. Either you should be knowing some protocols, communication protocols. To become functional verification engineer, you should be knowing Verilog, system Verilog, UVM, universal verification methodology. UVM is a methodology to make what? Functional coverage and code coverage 100%. How to meet it? So there is a methodology for that. You should be knowing this. So after functional verification is only testing your RTL. Right? After functional verification, your design is in what form? Your design is in what form? It is in even in what form? RTL form. Then I can tell that your design is in what form? Your design is in behavioral form. Correct? After functional verification, still your design is in what form? Behavioral form. So this behavioral form, your foundry can't understand. Correct? The code what you have written by using Verilog or VHDL, your foundry cannot understand. Whether your foundry can understand this? Your foundry can understand what? Layout and connection of cells or gates. So next step is convert this behavioral form to the gate level. So that we call it as what? Synthesis. So synthesis converts your RTL. Convert RTL to what? Gate level netlist. So you convert this into gate level netlist. You have RTL, you have to convert into gate level netlist. So what are the inputs required for this? What are the inputs you want for synthesis? So one is good, one is RTL. Because RTL only you have to convert to gate level netlist, right? Synthesis is done by synthesis tool. We are not doing it. But our role is to give what? This inputs. We have to set the design, right? We have to give this inputs. Then converting to RTL to gate level netlist, my tool will do. There's a well sophisticated tools, EDA tools. EDA means electronic design automation tools. I told you, right? The design team works on to design an IC. So design team always uses EDA tools. EDA stands for electronic design automation tools. It is a software only. So these tools will help you in designing an IC, designing and verifying IC. So we are doing IC design in software only. That is in the system. Design engineers will work only on the system. Software tools we have. So I told you what are the software tool names. What are that? Cadence and Synopsys are the major vendors to produce these tools. So one of the EDA tool you have already used in that is called Xilinx in your lower classes for FPGA design. It's not for IC design, it's for what? FPGA design. FPGA is nothing but what already you have IC, just you have to program it to make the internal connections. Already you have IC. FPGA is already ready-made IC. But here IC is made only if you give what? GDS. FPGA is already ready-made IC. IC is already given, you program it however you want. You will get the IC. You will get the IC done. Then why we are not using FPGA? FPGA already it is a ready-made IC, right? If I dump the program for D flip-flop, my FPGA will work for what? My FPGA works as a D flip-flop IC. If I dump some other program like ATM program, my FPGA will work as ATM IC. Then why we are not using FPGA? Why we are going this type of ASIC design flow? And even FPGA is reprogrammable. First I can dump D flip-flop, next I can dump what? ATM machine program. I can reprogram it. Then why we are not using this FPGA? Good. Right? I don't have control over the FPGA, right? For example, I have D flip-flop program. My D flip-flop program is taking only this much area. My D flip-flop is taking only this much area. Entire this area is wasted. For that reason, I cannot cut my FPGA. I don't have control over the design. Already cells are present inside FPGA. I cannot change internal cells. Only I am responsible for connection between the cells. So designer doesn't have flexibility over the design. Means over the cells present inside FPGA. Only we are responsible for what? connect the cells which are already present. We cannot change the cells. So my D flip-flop is taking only this much area. For that reason, I cannot cut the cells, right? In my IC design, if I am designing a D flip-flop IC, if this much area my IC is taking, only this is the area. In FPGA design, if my design is taking only this much also, I should use for the entire FPGA. And speed of operation, whatever this FPGA clock frequency is there, only that frequency I can use. I cannot change the speed of operation. I cannot increase, I can decrease. By using other circuits, I can decrease, but I cannot increase it. But it's not like that. I can change the speed of operation by doing setup and hold analysis. I can use whatever speed of operation I know. So FPGA, for that reason, FPGA we never use. But still FPGA is in the market. Why? So you should be knowing all these things. See, these basics I cannot tell, I cannot assure what basics will be asked in interview. These are called as analysis questions. Why we not use a FPGA then? So still why we use FPGA? I don't have flexibility over the cells present inside. I cannot modify that. I cannot change that. I cannot remove that. But still we use FPGA for what purpose? So FPGA is faster time to market. It means the design time is very fast. Here I have to generate GDS file, I have to give to Foundry, and Foundry has to fabricate IC for me. It's time consuming task. FPGA is not like that. Write the program, dump on FPGA, your IC is done. So you can easily enter to market very fast. Means your chip can be released very fast in the market. So you have fast time to market. First thing. Second thing is you can use FPGA for prototyping. I have written one piece of RTL code. RTL I have written. RTL means what? By using Verilog or VHDL. I am not sure whether this RTL is working or not properly. For that reason, I cannot do all the steps. I will generate GDS. I will give this GDS to what? Foundry, and Foundry will fabricate what? IC to me, and I cannot test that IC. To test this RTL, I cannot do all the steps. If RTL is working fine or not, if I want to test, dump this RTL one what? FPGA. FPGA is hardware only, right? It's not the software. It's hardware only. Yes, ma'am. You will be on the online. Pawan, whether Pawan is present? Vivek,
Yes, sir.
small announcement. 1 second, right? A small announcement. We'll continue after this announcement. Yes, Vivek is there.
Yes, sir.
Sai Krishna, Nagraj. Yes, you people have not completed the final installment. Yes, see, this is the announcement from the office. So please talk to the office after the session, right? All the 3 candidates.
Yes, sir.
So they can use for what? Prototyping. Prototyping means what? Testing this RTL code. Whether this RTL code works as a ATM machine or not. I have to test. We are doing functional verification. Functional verification is done on software. It is done on what? Software tool. It is not done on hardware. If I want to test on hardware, I can dump easily on what? FPGA. Test whether it is going to work fine on hardware. Then that I can give to what? Then I can involve all the process of ASIC design flow. Then I can generate the GDS. I can give for what? Found it to fabricate. So we can use the FPGA for what? Prototyping. Any design will work on hardware or not. We can test it. So for that purpose, we can use what? FPGA. So mainly it is used for prototyping. So you are doing your PhD. You have some RTL code. You have designed some new RTL code for some protocol. You have to test it. So you cannot, for that reason, you cannot send this RTL code for what? Foundry to test it. That is, you should have to pay in huge for that. For that reason, you can dump on what? FPGA, you can tell that your RTL is working fine in hardware, then you can get patent for that RTL code, whatever you have. So I was talking about this synthesis. Why I came to that topic? Why I moved to that topic?
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, you can. Yes, tell me.
Excuse me.
Yes,
Yeah,
please tell me.
actually, the synthesis step I have read that technology. Yeah, it's a technology independent. That is up to RTL verification. The design is technology independent, sir. And after the synthesis, it is converted to technology dependent. So, what makes
Yes,
it?
yes.
Can you explain this?
Okay, yes. I'll continue. I'll explain this after this. Completing the synthesis topic, I'll come to
Yeah.
that.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
See,
Thank you.
what is technology independent? What do you call technology dependent? I'll talk about that. You just give me few minutes. So one of the input for your synthesis is what? So what is synthesis? You convert your RTL to what? Gate level net list. So first thing, one of the input is your RTL. What is second input? Hmm? See, you are converting your RTL to gate level. What gates you are using to convert? Whether you can use mux. Someone has to tell that, right? What gates you can use? So converting RTL to gate level. Gate level should contain what? Whether you can use AND gate, whether you can use OR gate, or you can use mux, whether you can use full adder. Someone has to tell that, right? So you should use a file called as .lib or liberty file. Liberty file or library file. So the extension for that is all these files will be having .lib as extension. File name, after that you will be having what? .lib as extension. So these files should be given as input for what? Synthesis. So the gates present in this file will be used to convert what? RTL to gate level netlist. Only gates present in this file will be used. Whatever gates present. So this is called a standard cell library. So generally these files will be having gates information, like you will be having power and means each cell will consume how much power. Power I'll talk tomorrow. Right? Each cell will take how much delay, that is called as timing. Delay of cell will called as what? Timing. So power and timing information of standard cells. This is present in these files. Means each cell is taking how much power, each cell will take how much delay. After giving the input, after a what time you will get what? Output. So in depth of delay, I'll talk tomorrow. What is delay? So this is called as, this information is present in what? Library or liberty file. So I told about something called as standard cell. What do you mean by standard cell? Few basic cells required to implement circuit is called as what? Standard cell. So they include AND gate, NAND gate, OR gate, NOR gate, XOR, inverter. Inverter only is called as what? NOT gate, buffer. Role of buffer you'll understand later why it is. Buffer, you're like something like mux, full adder, half adder. So AOI gate, OAI gate. AOI means and or inverter. OAI means or and inverter. So these few gates are called as what? Standard cells. So these cells, power and timing information will be present in what? Liberty file. So this should be one of your input for what? Synthesis. So your synthesis tool will convert this RTL to gate level, only picking the cells from what? This liberty file, not pick any other cells. So next type of file is SDC, synopsis design constraints file. So you have to give some constraints, right? Means, see, there is setup and hold analysis, that is called as STA, static timing analysis, that we will do later, right? To do STA, you require some of the inputs, that is called as timing constraints. This is not timing information. This is what timing constraints. Means within what clock frequency your design has to work. Design has to work with what clock frequency. So there is something called a set input delay, set output delay, set driving cell, set load. All these things we'll describe later. Now just you understand that it will main thing what you have in HTC is what is the clock frequency. With what clock frequency your design should work. So this information is present in HTC. So now what you will do from this inputs, what your tool will do, it will convert your gate level netlist. It will pick all the cells from what? Liberty library file. It will create the gate level structure and it will create a gate level netlist in such a way that you have to meet this what? Clock frequency. Your design should work with what? This clock frequency. If whether your design is working with this clock frequency or not, how do you identify? You will do setup or hold analysis. Setup and hold. That you will do it in STA. So Synopsys design constraints mainly has clock frequency. Your design should work with what clock frequency you will mention that. Now your RTL will convert into gate level netlist. So what do you mean by gate level netlist then? What do you call as gate level netlist? See, gate level. So what is output of synthesis then? So output of synthesis is gate level netlist. Then what is this gate level netlist? So gate level netlist is also Verilog code. This is also .v. .v is extension for what? Verilog. This is also Verilog code. This is also Verilog code. RTL is also Verilog code. Then what is the difference between that? See, RTL is in what form? RTL is in BRL form, but your gate level netlist is in gate level netlist should have gate and its connections. So that's it. You should not be having any other thing. You should be having gate and its connections. You should not be having if statement. You should not be having any assign statement. You should be having gate and its connections. This is called as gate level netlist. So I will give one example. You can take one example. For example, you have this is your gate level design. You assume that you have one AND gate. You have one OR gate. You have one inverter. So here this input is A, this input is B, this input is what? C. This is N1 net, this is N2 net. Intermediate things are called as what? Nets. This intermediate connections are called as what? Nets. N1 net and N2 net. This output I will call it as Y. Output of the circuit is called as what? Y. This is AND gate. So AND gate is having inputs like A1 pin, A2 pin, and this is Y pin. So instead of Y, this final output I will call it as some out. Final output name is called as what? Out. So even you have OR gate here. This OR gate again it is having inside pin. Pin name is called as what? A1, A2, and Y. Input is also having pin A and Y pin. This is your gate and its connections. Then how to write the gate level netlist for this? So you write the same Verilog code, right? How do you write the Verilog code? So you can start with what? Module. How do you start with Verilog code? Module. You will give the module name, correct? What is the module name? I'll give some module name as temp, temporary module. What are the inputs you will mention? What are the inputs? A comma, B comma, C, and what is the output? Y. No, not Y. It is out. So next you will mention what are your inputs. What are your inputs? A comma, B comma, C. What is your outputs? Output of this design is what? Out. And even this nets has to be declared. Nets is declared as what? Wire N1 comma N2. Now you will describe each gate. So first gate is what? AND gate. In this gate should be present in your dot lib, right? Then only it will be present in your netlist. This is a synthesis output. Synthesis will pick the cells only from what? Cells present in dot lib. So this dot lib, this cell name I'll call it as what? AND 2 means 2 input AND gate. This is a name present in what? Dot lib. And name present for OR gate is AND 2. And name for inverter is what? INV. Sorry, it's R2. R2. So how do you write the gate level netlist? It is like first you will be having the library name. What is the library name? AND 2. After that you will be having one instance name. U1. This instance name is given by synthesis tool itself. This instance name is given by synthesis tool itself. See, every cell will be having different instance name. Because in the design I may be having different n number of AND gates. 1000 AND gates I may have. So from one AND gate to another AND gate there should be some difference, right? For that reason the synthesis tool will give what? One instance name. I am Pratik. Pratik D. One more Pratik is there. Pratik, yes. So we will differentiate by using what? Initials. Even initials are matching, we will differentiate by using the register numbers. Your college register numbers or college ID number. Similarly, your synthesis tool will give this instance name. So instance name for your this AND gate is what? U1. Then you will do port mapping. Port mapping means dot A1. Dot A1 means where this A1 pin is connecting to. A1 pin of your AND gate is connecting to which A port. A2 pin. See, input and output of cells are called as what? Pins. This A1, A2 and Y is called as what? Pins. Input and output of any cell is called as what? Pin. Input and output of a circuit or a block is called as what? Ports. So here A, B, C and output, this out is called as what? Ports. And A1, A2, Y is called as what? Pins. So A1 pin is connecting to what? A port, and it's A2 pin where it's connecting B port, and this Y pin where it's connecting. Where it's connecting Y pin? Connecting to what? N1 net. Right? It's connecting to N1 net. Then what is the next cell? R2. This is a library name. This is a cell name present in what? Dot lib. So what is the instance name? U2. Again do port mapping. A1 pin connects where? This A1 pin connects to which net? N1 net. A2 pin connects where? C. 5 pin connects where? N2. Next is inverter. U3. A1 pin connects where? N2 net. It's not A1 pin, it's only A pin because inverter is only one input. N2 and output pin of your inverter connects where? This Y pin connects where? Output port. Done. And I like it as what? End module. So this is called as your netlist. So netlist has gates, information, and its connections. Connection is maintained, right? Everyone can listen here. This N1 net is connecting to which pin? Y pin, means output pin of your AND gate. And this N1 net is also connecting to what? A1 pin of your OR gate, means input pin of your OR gate. So N1 net is connecting from output pin of your AND gate to what? Input pin of OR gate. So connection is maintained. So my tool can understand that there is a connection between AND gate to OR gate. Similarly, this N2 net. This N2 net is connecting to output pin of OR gate and connecting to input pin of your inverter. So connection is maintained. So gate and its connections. Only this should be specified in gate level netlist. So apart from this, you should not be having any if statement. You should not be having any always block. You should not be having any assign statement. Only this gate and its connection should be present in your netlist. So this is called as netlist. It has only gate and its connections. Now here comes the question: what is technology independent? What is technology dependent? So your RTL is technology independent. I can call your RTL is technology independent. See, we are not going to write RTL. See, first of all, we'll discuss what is technology. First of all, what is technology? If I call 7 nanometer technology, what is the meaning of it? Yes, the distance between your source and drain is what? That is called as technology. Channel 7 nanometer means distance between source and drain is 7 nanometer. Channel length is called as technology. Right now, your gate level netlist is technology independent or technology dependent. It is technology independent. See, you will not write Verilog code for 7 nanometer or 14 nanometer. The Verilog code is nowhere related to technology. It is technology independent. But your gate level netlist is this is technology dependent. How it is technology dependent? So I cannot write somewhere here. I don't know, this part is not working. Why? So I will write here. It is technology dependent. So why it is called as technology dependent? What makes it technology dependent? Because liberty file is included in between. See how this liberty file is found. I will take a few minutes. See, liberty file is found by full custom design team. There is a team called as what? Full custom design. See, this full custom design team will get the spice models. Means spice models means MOSFET spice models, NMOS spice model and PMOS spice model. Spice models means mathematical model for NMOS, mathematical model for PMOS. What do you mean by mathematical model? So your NMOS is working in NMOS. If you apply gate voltage and drain voltage, current flows between what? Source and drain or drain to source. And this is the concept. This is going to work when we fabricate this NMOS in silicon. But same thing has to be used in our software tool, right? Then this NMOS has to be mathematically modeled. Then what we tell is if gate voltage is more than some volt and drain voltage is more than some volt, current flows between source to drain. And what is the equation for current? They write the equation for current. This much amount of current will flow based on this equation. So here, what is a mathematical model? So current flows between source and drain. And what is the amount of current? The current is ID, right? ID equation, you know, mu naught C naught Fx W by L, VGS minus VTS, the whole square. So they will give the mathematical model. That mathematical model is called as what? Spice models. This spice models we will get from foundries. These spice models will change from technology to technology. Because if I take 28 nanometer technology, if my VGS is less than 0.7 volts, I have 2 milliampere of leakage power, leakage current. But if I come to 7 nanometer technology, if VGS is 0.7 volt, I will have 14 milliamperes of leakage current. So leakage current increases when we go to what? Lower technology. Right? So threshold voltage changes when we go to lower technology. So based on that, when we go to lower technology, my spice models also changes. Hello? Just tell me. So now your full custom design team will take this spice models that varies, that depends on what technology. The mathematical model will change from technology to technology because current conducting capability, everything doesn't remain same. See, mathematical model means not only the current equation, it's also equation for what? Threshold voltage. It's also equation for leakage current. It's also equation for your switching current. It's also equation for your short circuit current. So this ID is equal to mu1 C naught of x W by L is only for switching current. There is separate equation for short circuit current, separate equation for leakage current. So all this mathematical model is given as spice models. Your full custom design team will take these spice models. They will draw the schematic. For example, this is your inverter or NAND gate. Right? They will draw the CMOS schematic. They will apply different inputs. For that, they will get what? Different outputs. From that, they will calculate what? Power and cell delay. And they are given a file called as what? Liberty file. So Liberty file is different for different technology. It is not same for all the technology. 7 nanometer you have different .lib file. 14 nanometer you have different .lib file. So this Liberty file is changes with technology. So we are picking the cells from what? Liberty file, right? If I have different Liberty file, I will be having different names here, correct? These names are picked from which file? Liberty file. So this pins also changes, pin names also changes with respect to what? Liberty file. So in my Liberty file, the pin names are A1, A2. Some Liberty file have pin names like what? A, B and Y. So pin names also changes. So this whatever RTL I have, that is only for this Liberty file what I have used. And this Liberty file is for particular technology. So for that reason we can call this gate level netlist as what? Technology dependent. I cannot use the same 7 nanometer technology netlist for 14 nanometer technology netlist. We cannot use. Right? Because my synthesis tool has done the optimization. Optimization means what? Improvement in the design only for this 7 nanometer technology. Means reducing in the power. So if this netlist is we have got only for 7 nanometer. Same netlist I cannot use for 14 nanometer. So 14 nanometer .lib will be different. Okay, we assume that this netlist I have and .lib I have for 14 nanometer is having same names. Cell name remains same, pin name remains same. But at 7 nanometer I will be getting less leakage power. Overall design power will be what? Less. I will be getting less violations. 14 nanometer, the same netlist if I use for 4 nanometer, I may get more power because my synthesis tool has not done optimization for 4 nanometer. It has done only for what? 7 nanometer. So I'll get different power and different timing violations. So I cannot use that. So this was done for 7 nanometer and this was done for only this Liberty file. I can use only for this Liberty file. I cannot use this netlist for different Liberty files. See, netlist I cannot use independently. If I use netlist, along with netlist, my Liberty file should be present. Then only my tool can understand this is an AND gate. Only name will not tell this is an AND gate. So if this is an AND gate, my tool will look for Liberty file. In this file only I will be having information about this gate. What this gate will do, what this cell will do with this name. With this name, the cell will do what? AND operation. This is having this much delay. This is having this much power consumption. That is present in which file? Liberty file. When netlist is there, along with that, what should be present? Liberty file should be present. And this Liberty file is different for different technology. So for that reason, we call it as what? Gate level netlist is what? Technology dependent. But RTL is not like that. RTL is technology independent. It is not associated with any Liberty file. If I ask you to write the D flip flop RTL code, whether you write for any particular technology, no, it is not different for different technology. So this RTL remains same for all the technology. So for that reason, it is called as what? Technology independent. So while converting this RTL to gate level netlist, in between we use what? Liberty file. So cells are picked only from this Liberty file. So Liberty file is technology dependent. So Liberty file is different for different technology. So then your netlist becomes technology dependent. So if I give only netlist, no tool can identify what is this AND gate is doing. Along with netlist, what is required? Liberty file is required. Both should be given as input. So if I give this file to physical design tool, my tool cannot identify what is this. Along with this file, what I should give? Liberty file as input. Then only my tool can identify, okay, this AND gate is doing AND operation. It's having this much power and this much delay. So my tool can identify only if I give what? Liberty file as input. You understood? The girl who asked me what is the difference in why it is called technology dependent and technology independent. You understood now? What is difference? So online one girl asked me, right? So now this netlist is coming for what? Physical design. Now the design is in what form? Gate level form. It's not in the layout form. So gate level form cannot be given to what? This foundry. Foundry can understand only what? Layout. So now we will convert this gate level form to what? Layout form. That is what the role of physical design engineer is. Physical design. Convert. See, I will not do again what is steps ASIC design flow like floor planning, placement. I will not do. I'll just mention what are the topics covered in our flow. Anyhow, we are going to do it in depth in the future classes. So what we do is we convert this netlist in physical design form. See, we'll take a break now. A 10 minutes break we'll take. We'll complete it off. Don't have a break. 10 minutes I'll complete. 15 to 10 minutes. Or we'll take a break. Take a break because someone we have to go out. So 11:45, 11:40. So we'll continue again at 11:50. The time is 11:40. 10 minutes break. After break, we'll continue. Just I'll cover what are the syllabus covered in physical design. What syllabus we cover. Next, second thing I talk about just a brief structure of physical design, how it will be, right? Just I'll talk about that 10 minutes, and next I'll cover the syllabus covered. So from tomorrow, the advanced class continues. So tomorrow I'll start with what is delay, cell delay, and what factor it depends. It's already done in CMOS basics. And I'll talk about power, different types of power, and what factor depends. It is already done, still I'll do it because I don't know how it is done. Who has done for you? Okay, then still I'll do it because I want that to be clear for everyone. See, physical design is not only responsible for converting netlist to PD. PD form means physical design form. Physical design form is also called as what? This is also called as layout form. We are not only responsible for this. We have to make this conversion with what? Less power consumption, optimized area with good area is less area, right? Optimized area and meeting timing. Timing we have to meet. Timing means already the clock frequency is defined here. We have to meet this clock frequency, meeting timing. So checking this timing, whether it is met or not, that is called as what? STA, static timing analysis. Here we do mainly setup and hold analysis. So doing all these things is called as what? Physical design. See, physical design engineer role is you can enter in three things. One is you can be only a PNR engineer. PNR means it is physical design, placement and route. During this PNR also you will do STA. See, we cannot see. I'll talk about that. What is top level? Who is going to write STA? Who is going to write STC? Everything will talk in next level, not now. Right? Because for that I should discuss about the full chip level design, block level design. Right? I'll talk about all these things later. Means in future classes. So I'm just today one is only brief introduction. So you can enter it as PNR. As a in PNR also you'll do what? STA. Again you can also enter as what? STA engineer. Only STA engineer you can enter. You can also enter as synthesis engineer. You can also enter as physical verification engineer. So all these steps, all these jobs you can enter if you do this course. So majority of the case you will enter into what? Physical design. Some of our engineers are also working in what? STA and synthesis. Few are working in physical verification also. Yes, now you can take a break. Yes, so we will continue now. So I was talking about, right? So what is, I see physical design we complete in depth in future. So what is a physical design? What we do it in this? So we will be having core area and die area. We will form this. So we'll discuss what are the rules to form this. Right? First, we'll create core area and die area. Just in this. Core area and die area. So you will place the ports here in between core area and die area. Ports are nothing but what? Input and output of a block. These are the ports, right? So ports are just a piece of metal layer. These are ports. So ports placement is not straightforward how I placed. Yeah, we have to discuss what are the rules governing the port placement. How to do the port placement, what are the commands to do the port placement, how to do the port placement in the tool. See, everything has what are the rules, what are the commands, right? And verification. Every step has these three things. Rules, commands, or how to implement that, and verification. After doing port placement, I cannot leave as it is. We have to verify whether port placement is proper or not. So every step has these things. So first step is creating core area and die area. This is core area, die area. Then we'll do port placement. Then macros will place if we have anything. Macros are the complex blocks which we have directly used the layout. See, in my say I'm doing this new design. In the new design, I am reusing the previous design blocks as it is. So I need not to write the Verilog program for that. I directly use that layout, right? Because I already have the layout in the previous design. Directly layout I use. So you have polyogram mix. You will not do the polyogram mix from the beginning because it's readily available in the market. Directly mix with your what? Price. So previously I have designed this design I already having previously. This layout in the previous design I have. Directly I will use it. I will reuse it. Right? These are called as what? Macros or IPs. Macros or IPs. IPs means intellectual property. You reuse this IPs. This is a layout. Directly you are using the layout. You will not write the RTL or you will not do synthesis for this. Directly use the which are required. Means these IPs can be two things. One is which is already you have a layout that you are reusing it. First thing. Second thing is few IPs cannot be done by using this process. By using this ASIC design flow. Few IPs or few circuits should be done by using analog design. For example, you want PLL, phase lock loop. In your design, you want what? Phase lock loop. Phase lock loop cannot be done by using this flow, what I explained now. We cannot write the Verilog code for what? Phase lock loop. Analog circuits, for analog circuits, we cannot write the phase lock loop. We can write for analog circuits, we cannot write the RTL code. We can write RTL code only for digital circuits. Digital circuits will be having only two levels, logic level 0 or logic level 1. Analog circuits, the signal will change continuously with respect to what? Time. So for this, we cannot write Verilog code. So your PLL is an analog circuit. I cannot write the Verilog code. So your full custom design team will design the PLL and they'll give the layout to us. We'll directly use the layout. So few IPs are called as analog IPs. Few IPs are also called as what? Analog IP. Analog IP means this IP is formed by using what? Full custom design, not from ASIC design. This IP is ASIC design done. This already present. This layout is already present. What we do, we write the Verilog code. We do synthesis. We do what? Physical design. I have the layout, right? That layout only I am using here. That is already done in the previous project. So we reuse it. So these are called as what? Macros. If you have any macros like this, you place it first. So what is the first step here? Creating core area and die area. And die area. Next step is what? Port placement. Next step is macro placement. Next step is power planning. So power planning means every cell requires VDD and VSS, correct? You see your CMOS inverter. At top you have what? VDD and bottom you have what? VSS. Every cell in the design requires what? VDD and VSS. So to give VDD and VSS for every cell without IR drop, we do what? Power planning. So these things is called as what? Floor planning. So we will discuss what is power planning later. We have to create stripes, we have to create rails, we have to create, if required, we have to create the core rings. Then after floor planning, the next step is what? Placement. Placement means now we have placed only the macros inside the core area, but standard cells are not yet placed. See, in the real design, you will be having 30 lakh standard cells. Minimum 30 lakh standard cells. Right? 30 lakh standard cells, and macro count will be between 10 to 100. Within 10 to 100, your macros count will be there. You'll be having macros only within this count. But standard cells, how much it will be? 30 lakhs. So you have placed only the smaller amount of macros. Still, I have to place what? 30 lakh cells. So placing that standard cells inside core area is called as what? Placement. So I will place the standard cells here. All these are standard cells. Standard cells are in size, if you see, right, they are very small size. These are standard cells. So this is a layout of standard cell. This is not a normal standard cell, right? It's not a block. It's what? It's a layout of a standard cell. So whatever cells we are seeing here and get equivalent layout, we will place here. So we are not going to draw the layout. Layout for each cell present in dot lib. What are cells present in dot lib? For each cell, the layout is drawn, and that is given to us in the file called as left file. Left stands for layout exchange format. So we will get it in left file. That input files are discussed later in the future classes. So we will get left file. Layout is drawn. This left file is given from layout team. They will draw the layout and they will give the layout for us. Layout exchange format. So each standard cell we place inside core area. Placing the layout of standard cell is our role, but drawing the layout is not our role. It is role of what? Layout engineers, and they will give in a file called as left file. That is separate team again. Layout engineers. We are not going to draw the layout, but still you should be having what is present inside the layout. You should be having idea to fix the violations. You will get a NVL violation. Then you should be knowing what is NVL. Everyone know, right? Layout. CMOS inverter layout, at least AND gate layout, NOR gate layout. You should be knowing that. These are layout of all the standard cells, which is present in my netlist. This netlist, what are the cells I have? Those layouts we will place here. How many cells I have here? 3. In the industrial design, how many cells you will be having? 30 lakhs. Okay. That is a complexity what you have. After placement, next step is what? CTS, clock tree synthesis. We have to build clock tree synthesis. So we will discuss why we have to build a clock tree. what is necessary. While building clock tree, what is the parameters we have to look into. So all those things we will discuss. Next, routing. Routing means, see, these cells are just placed, but they are not connected. See, you can see here, this output of AND gate is connecting to what? Input of OR gate. That connection we have to make, right? So output of AND gate connect to input by using what? Metal layer. Connect like this. By using metal layers, you connect all the standard cells and ports. Connect like this. So connecting by using metal layer is called as what? Routing. After that, we'll do sign off checks, final checks. So this is a flow. And after sign off checks, we'll take what? GDS and we'll send to foundries. So then what I will discuss in the syllabus? What is syllabus we cover? See, first I will start with CMOS power and delay. That is next class. This is very important. You should be having this idea before starting a physical design. Next, I will start with block level design and full chip level design. What is block level and what is full chip level design? What's the difference? Next, we discuss on block level floor planning. See, full chip you will work only when you have 5 years or 6 years of experience. When you have 3 or 4 years of experience at the starting level, you will work only on what? Block level design. So we'll discuss what is block level or subsystem level design. Block or subsystem. In block level design, we'll start with what is floor planning. So in floor planning, again, we start with what? Creating core area, die area, port placement, macro placement, power planning. So everything we discuss. So each step we discuss what? Each step, what are the rules? How to implement it in the tool, and what is the verification? See, I have placed the ports, whether I have placed the ports according to the rules or not. How to verify it. So we'll discuss all the 3 parameters. After floor planning, we discuss STA, static timing analysis. This is not part of flow, but you should be knowing static timing analysis. Means in static timing analysis, major important part is what? Setup and hold. Apart from that, we discuss many other things like false path, multi-cycle path, uncertainty, what is queue, what is latency. So what is asynchronous static timing analysis, how to do it. So all these things we discuss in STA. After STA, we discuss what? Placement of standard cells. In placement, we again discuss what are the rules, means what are settings we have to do before placement to get the better result. So placement steps, what are steps in placement? So next is checks after placement. So after placement, what are the things you have to check? Placement means what? Placing all the standard cells inside the core area. Next, we will discuss about CTS, clock tree synthesis. So why we build a clock tree? What are the parameters we have to understand while building clock tree? What are the steps in building clock tree and checks after clock tree? Then we go with what? Routing. So settings, what we have to do before routing, steps in routing, and checks after routing. Checks means not only doing the checks and leaving it. Even if required, we have to fix it if any issues are there. Right? After that, we discuss on sign off checks, final checks. Sign off checks. So sign off checks includes Power and IR drop. STA, started timing analysis. Finally, we have to check STA after what? Routing. Next, physical verification, PV. Here we discuss a DRC and LVS, design rule checks and LVS. So all these things we are going to verify in what? Your sign off checks. So these are the syllabus covered in your design. See, you are doing a project. See, 2 projects will be given to you. One project is done along with the help of mentor. Right? One project you have to do it. It is done after the first project. See, you have 15 days time before closing the tool. Within the 15 days, you can complete your second project. So first project is done for 3 months with help of a mentor. Understand each topic and do it. First project is very difficult, right? Doing because you don't know what is tool. How to test the tool, you don't know. So we will teach you how to use the tool. Everything mentor will support each and every step during first project. Second project, you have to do by your own. So we will give you 2 projects in the lab to do it. So you can ask me if you have any doubts. So tomorrow you have theory session. There is no lab. Weekend lab. So weekend lab you have, right? I told you weekend lab is after the weekend theory classes. So you don't have lab on weekend. So weekdays lab, admin will inform you. So you will be having the sessions for tool installation and some work area creation. The sessions will be there. So work area creation means creating folders for your design to work. That sessions will be there. So you will be following that on weekdays. That they will do it on next week for weekend students. So if you have any doubts, you can ask me. I'll do only theory. So one more thing I forgot. One session will be online and one session will be offline. Theory. Only theory. Lab will be offline. Out of 2 classes, Saturday and Sunday, one session will be online and one session is in the offline. Right? But I'll make now and I'll tell this. Because see, I am also working on some projects. So I have only industrial trainer will come. Weekdays, the normal trainer who is present in the office for all the time. So she will take offline all the sessions. This weekend, one day it will be online, one day it will be offline because I am in the project in the stage. I have to even work for that. It will be online tomorrow. Saturday will be one day. I'll inform you. Any one day. One day I'll come for online to fix all the issues you have, whatever doubts you have. One day it will be online. One day it will be offline. One day it will be online. Only theory class. Your lab will be offline. Weekdays lab will be offline. Pratik. Any other doubts you have? So that is only for theory classes. One day it will be online, one day it will be offline. Weekend lab, it will be offline, right? Both the days. I am not sure about that. You ask with admin. I don't know who is going to take the weekdays. See, weekdays lab. She asked for weekend or weekdays. Weekend labs, it will be offline by both the days. I'm not sure. Anyway, Diksha, I don't. If you people come, it will be offline. Where Diksha, you not come today, right? Okay, they are not informed about lab. You ask with admin who is going to take the lab. I think it will be offline. If anyone is coming, they will keep it as what? Offline. If you're not coming, they'll make it as online. Weekdays will be offline and online both. Weekend lab will be offline and online both. Only theory class, one day it will be online, one day it will be offline. There is no preparation needed for tomorrow's class. You should be knowing only CMOS basics. If you have attended the CMOS basics, that is sufficient because I cannot teach you what is CMOS inverter. At least you should be knowing what is CMOS inverter. CMOS inverter has what? PMOS and NMOS. That you should be knowing. Apart from that, you will not to have any information. I will discuss tomorrow. What is delay? What is power? So what do you mean by different drive strength? What do you mean by different VT cells? That I will discuss tomorrow.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, tell me.
Yeah, sir. Weekdays labs have to be offline only, sir.
Both
Both.
online and offline, both.
Yeah,
Same
okay.
how we are
Online also
doing
we
now,
can
right?
do. Yeah.
Yes, both. All the modes are on both.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, sir.
Okay, thank you. If you have any doubts, you can ask me or you can sit.
Sir, what about the attendance?
I'm not sure what is that. What is the attendance? I don't know. See, recorded videos, your admin will give you the access in what in skill portal. In skill portal, the videos will be added. Downloading recordings is not possible. You can see in that in skill portal. Videos will not be accessible for the all time. It is only for 15 days, next 15 days. So you have pre-recorded videos you can access for all the time till the course end. But the live recorded videos are also available. It's only till what time? It's only till next 15 days. After that, the old videos will get refreshed. Today's video will be available only for next 15 days. Tomorrow's videos will be available for next 15 days. After that, the videos will get refreshed. That students are already knowing that. So those who already attended the basics, they will be knowing about the videos. You know about the videos, right? Recorded videos. Okay, thank you.